Tonight, Joe Biden is participating in a virtual fundraiser. It's hosted by supporters in the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is also attending. She is a decorated war veteran, and according to the Washington Post, Senator Duckworth has quietly emerged as a serious contender in Biden's search for a running mate. That search is set to end in a matter of weeks. CBSN political contributor and Washington Post national political reporter Sean Sullivan wrote that piece, and he joins me now. Sean, good to see you again. Really intriguing story here. First of all, when did Senator Duckworth start being considered as a VP pick, and why?
Well, she is somebody who a lot of Democrats, including people inside Joe Biden's inner circle, view as a very, very impressive politician, as a very, very impressive senator. She is a Purple Heart winner. She's the only member of this group of contestants or potential candidates to be Biden's vice president that has military combat experience. She comes from a Midwestern state. She is a woman of color. And a lot of Democrats have been impressed by her. And over time, my reporting shows that she has indeed emerged as a serious contender for the vice presidential running mate position. There are a lot of other candidates in the mix right now. The campaign is still going through and trying to figure out who their finalists are going to be, who they're going to look at. And she remains, at least at this point in time, it appears to be a really, really intriguing candidate to a lot of people inside Biden's inner circle.
It raises the question, Sean, who exactly, though, is leading the search process right now?
Yeah, you have a small group that Joe Biden assembled of close allies who are sort of taking the lead on the search process, at least in its initial stages. And the people you have on this committee are Chris Dodd, a former senator from Connecticut. He is close friends with Joe Biden. He's known Joe Biden for a very long time. And it appears that he's taking a pretty active role in this search process right now. You also have Eric Garcetti, who is the mayor of Los Angeles. You have Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester, and you have Cynthia Hogan, who is an attorney. So you have a diverse group of people leading this search right now. And then you look at Biden's inner circle, which actually includes his family. His sister Valerie has been a longtime political confidant and advisor. She is somebody who, when this final decision has been made, is expected to have some input on this. Dr. Jill Biden, Joe Biden's wife, has been doing events with some of these candidates. She recently did an event with Senator Harris in California, who is one of the potential candidates for the vice presidential running mate slot. So you have a small group of close aides, longtime trusted allies who are running and spearheading this process for Joe Biden.
So the Trump campaign released a statement about Senator Duckworth today, saying she was, quote, using her military service to deflect from her support for the left-wing campaign to villainize America's founding. Now, it appears to be in response to an interview that she did over the weekend where the senator suggested a national dialogue over whether monuments to George Washington should come down because he owned slaves. So what are Republicans doing, Sean, to prepare for Biden's eventual VP pick?
Well, they're doing quite a bit. And it's interesting, Elaine, when you look at that statement from the Trump campaign, this was a statement not about their opponent, Joe Biden. This is a statement about a senator who is in the mix to be his running mate. It's unusual to see a campaign not go after their opponent, but to go after somebody who is not even the person that they're running against. Why are they doing this? Well, a couple of reasons. Right now, when you look at the polls, it's been very, very difficult for any of Trump's attacks or any of his allies' attacks to work against Joe Biden. He's just proven to be a really, really hard candidate for them to attack effectively. When you look at state polls, when you look at national polls right now, Biden is leading Trump by a comfortable margin. And so they're trying to attack him in different ways, but it doesn't seem to be working. And what some Republicans believe is when Joe Biden chooses a running mate, that will be an opportunity to draw some of these contrasts that they're looking to draw, but they're maybe not able to do so as effectively right now. And they look at the field of prospective running mates and they say, okay, a lot of these candidates have different views than Joe Biden does on some things. A lot of them are more liberal than Joe Biden is on a number of issues. And they're eager to point those things out, to point out where they differ with Joe Biden and what their explanations are for that. And what we see today is perhaps a hint of what we're going to see down the line. You have Senator Duckworth, who over the weekend, as you alluded to, Elaine, in this interview with CNN, leaving the door open to the idea of taking down statues of George Washington. Joe Biden has said, no, that's not something that he agrees with. He agrees with removing Confederate statues, but he doesn't want to remove statues of George Washington. He doesn't want to remove statues and monuments to Thomas Jefferson. He's made that very clear. Senator Duckworth has a different position. And so what we're seeing is Republicans seize on an issue that they want to make a bigger deal in the campaign. Haven't been able to do that because Joe Biden doesn't take this position, but Senator Duckworth does, at least right now. And what we're seeing is them trying to launch a new kind of political attack that has not worked, at least so far, against Joe Biden directly.
All right, we only have about 30 seconds left, Sean, but should we expect the Biden campaign to announce a running mate before the Democratic National Convention next month?
I think we can expect them to make that announcement. Exactly when that happens is unclear. Biden's pushed his timeline back a bit. You know, he said August 1st initially. Now he's saying early August. Some Democrats I've talked to believe it could be closer to that August 17th start of the convention, especially since they can't really go out and do a big bus tour or a fly around or the traditional kind of campaign events you would do with a running mate. So we might not see that till mid-August.
All right, Sean Sullivan. Thanks so much, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Elaine.